a waste potential. Back again. Oh, forgot my name. 616. And I'm here to review Marvel Zombies: The Return, issue 1. Now, I've quite a few mixed feelings about this issue. I followed the whole Marvel zombie thing. Not from the start. I wasn't. It first appeared in Ultimate Fantastic Four, although I've later got those sort of stories from a trade. But I got the trade of the original Marvel Zombies storyline, which was a lot of fun. I thought it was quite good. You know, it was a laugh, a bit of a novelty. It was good. Then Marvel Zombies 2 came along. I thought that it received a lot of criticism. I thought it was okay. They kind of wrote themselves into a bit of a corner, but it was okay. It was alright. Then Marvel Zombies 3 and 4, they went into a different direction, and I actually thought those series were quite good. What they did was they basically sort of, it was less superheroes that are zombies rather than more superheroes fighting zombies, which I think was a good step to take and change the direction, and it was a lot of fun. Now with this Marvel Zombies: The Return, this is the return of the characters from Marvel Zombies 2, and I'm not really sure they needed to do this. You know, that boat might have sailed. I think they might have, you know, they don't need to bring the characters back, but I wanted to give it a chance. And it's okay. It's okay. This centers on Spider-Man. At the end of Marvel Zombies 2, they all got teleported away to various dimensions, which you know about. Now there's a nice little recap of basically what I've just said. Spider-Man's been teleported to a dimension which is similar to the 616 universe, except in the past. And it takes place during a Spider-Man storyline, which involved a character named Silvermane, about a tablet which sort of granted you eternal youth. And they actually did a story similar to that in the Spider-Man animated series, but I actually do have some reprints of these issues, which they're sort of harking back to, which is quite interesting, because what they're trying to do here is they've sort of had this zombie Spider-Man thrown into a classic Marvel Universe era, and how he interacts there. And I think what the writer was trying to do was, put him in that type of world and that type of comic book world, in the sense that, for instance, that the Kingpin announces, you know, how powerful he is, and you know how they used to do in sort of like late 60s comics, you know. So, Spider-Man will feel my power, I must announce everything I'm about to do, and blah blah blah, which, you know, is quite cool sometimes. So anyway, there's some cool there's some nice touches. There's a bit where Spider-Man tries to use his organic webbing, and his veins pop out, and there's some gory, cool stuff like that. Now, at the end of the last series, the zombies kind of turned over a new leaf. That's kind of thrown out of the window a little bit, which is a shame. It kind of makes sense of Spider-Man and how it's explained here. Although there's a bit at the end with Giant Man, Zombie Giant Man, and it seems he's just turned evil again. Although, that said, in the last series he did seem one of the evilest out of the zombies. Maybe not evilest, but the ones that liked being a zombie the most. Now, the art tries to be, you know, like a 60s era comic slightly. Like, I mean, when they have like a picture of Peter Parker of that dimension, of that era. You know, it's sort of John Romita Sr.-esque, but I could see what the artist was trying to do. I don't think it works that well. It all becomes quite gory and crazy, and you know, it's a lot of fun if you like that sort of thing. You know, villains being ripped apart by a zombie Spider-Man, and it was entertaining enough. I kind of thought it might have been a little bit OTT. And you know, I just kind of feel this zombie thing is being done to death. No pun intended. But it was okay. It was all right. There's also quite a cool bit where Sandman fights that dimension Spider-Man, thinking he's a zombie, and kills him in quite an interesting way. There's a lot of good ideas in here. There's a lot of good ideas, but I forgot. And also, there's a nice little homage to the Spider-Man, the famous Spider-Man No More cover, where Spider-Man's outfit is been thrown into a bin or trash can, but it's actually zombie Spider-Man's skin hanging up rather than the costume, which I thought was a nice touch. So, you know, it was quite enjoyable. I'm just not sure whether the series is kind of necessary, if you get what I mean. I'm gonna give the second issue another go. I'm just kind of on the fence about this. I'm not entirely sure whether I like it or not. So, if you're a fan of Marvel Zombies, if you're a fan of the first two Marvel Zombie series, pick this up. At the very least, just to give it a go and see what it's like. Maybe not so much if you're a fan of Marvel Zombies 3 and 4, because it's not in the same direction that was going. So yeah, there we go. There's a few continuity issues as well. I think Spider-Man had a bionic limb at the end of the last series, which he doesn't seem to have anymore. And just little things like that. And I think he had more sort of damage done to him than he appears in this one. That's maybe more of an art issue. I don't know. Yeah. So there we go. Not entirely sure whether I like this or not, but some nice touches, some good ideas. I will give the next issue another go. So yeah, I'll give it another go. So there we go. That review made a lot of sense, didn't it? Alright, cool. I'll see you guys later. I'm not sure whether I like this or not. See you later, guys.